breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Did before Super Bowl, and what the Patriots didn't do. Quite the shocking ordeal has come to light after the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. We now know what the team did before the championship game, and, perhaps more importantly, what the New England Patriots didn't do. Although the left wants to pretend that conservatives are fascists, that's just not the case. In fact, the opposite is actually true, as liberals are the ones hoping to silence others so that their political narrative and agenda can prosper, in spite of things like the First Amendment. We've seen it just about everywhere, and sadly, it's been allowed to infect the entertainment industry. Recently, we've witnessed it plaguing Hollywood as disconnected celebrities tell everyone that they know better than the American people. As that leftist mentality took off with the support of every liberal Democrat out there, it then started to take over the world of sports. Just like that, you saw things like the national anthem be used as a tool of leftist aggression. Rather than pay tribute to the country that afforded these famous athletes the ability to become multimillionaires, they instead decided to spit on the flag in so-called political protest. Although it was their right to be morons, they didn't have any moral ground to stand on, considering their argument was all based on liberal propaganda. Shockingly, that didn't matter to the left, as they sought to silence everyone speaking out against their disrespectful anti-American display. Acknowledging that national anthem protesters were allowed to express their First Amendment rights, viewers decided to voice their own opinions as well. Just like that, millions of Americans flipped off their television sets in a boycott of the league, prompting a ratings plunge like never before. As one would imagine, it wasn't long before the conversation surfaced while leading up the Super Bowl. With the seconds counting down, millions of Americans were left wondering if anyone would be so disrespectful during the national anthem of last night's big game. Luckily, players stood with no anthem protest scene, but now, we're learning what the Philadelphia Eagles did before going on to win the Super Bowl, and, unfortunately for them, what the New England Patriots didn't do. Come to find out, no Philadelphia Eagles player sat or knelt during the national anthem at any point this season, the Washington Examiner reports. In other words, prior to the Super Bowl, the players all stood, all the time. Out of 32 teams in the NFL, the Eagles was one of just 8 teams with no sitting, kneeling protests. As for the Patriots, they joined the ranks of the other 24 teams who decided to disrespect our flag and country as their players didn't stand consistently for our anthem. Even worse yet, there were 17 instances of sitting, kneeling protest at some point or another during the season for the Patriots in which their players didn't stand during the Star-Spangled Banner. Of course, liberals are mad that supporters of President Donald Trump are pointing this out. Too bad for them. That isn't stopping anyone from suggesting that this was nothing short of poetic justice and karma for what the NFL put America through this year. At the end of the day, your First Amendment rights go out the window when you walk into work and you are representing your employer. You can't say whatever you want when you represent a company that is paying you for your time. Everyone in charge of these teams was just as much to blame as the idiots who decided to disrespect America, as they had full control of the situation. Currently, they're paying for that decision right now, and you have to be a special kind of stupid to allow your employees to alienate half the country. You'd have to be an even bigger dummy to spit in the face of most of your viewers, since, according to Bloomberg, fans of 23 out of 32 teams were more Republican, even though several stadiums are located in heavily liberal areas. The Eagles did a hell of a job yesterday. However, if they didn't deserve it because of how they played, there are tons of people saying that they earned that win solely on account of the patriotism and respect they showed throughout the season. In other words, the Patriots got a brutal dose of karma for not living up to their name.